What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Sitting all the way across the city from me this week and every week, he's the king of all VR kings, he's Sofa King himself. You take drugs, Danny? It's Jeremy King.
Hey, and all the way on the opposite end of the goddamn city, while my computer keeps telling me I have low disk space, is Ryan Paul.
And every week on Why We Love PlayStation VR, we dip into the PSVR archive, we pull out a game at random, we dust the blow off of it, we play the crap out of it, we see if it's been given any love by the developers, any updates, any DLC. Warning, this one does not have any updates, does have DLC. And we let you know, the loyal game cats, if it's worth your time. That being said, Jeremy, what game did we decide to play this week?
This week we did Everybody's Golf VR.
Everybody's Golf VR by Japan Studio and Clap Hands, released May 21st, 2019, just over a year ago. $29.99, $30. Since then, it's only gotten one patch 1.01, for performance updates.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same game you played at launch. So, that out of the way, what kind of game... I'm totally editing this together. What kind of game is Everybody's Golf VR?
I got this one. It's a golf simulator.
Golf simulator.
In VR, yeah.
And that's crazy because that's kind of the difference between all the old Everybody's Golf games and Everybody's Golf VR. It went from this kind of fun, arcadey, it was always, you could take it as seriously as you wanted to.
The Mario Kart of golf games, the Hot Shot series.
Right, because there's a ton of skill and like technical stuff under the hood. But it's really easily accessible to anybody who wants to play it.
Yep.
And then suddenly, it is definitely a golf sim now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You play golf? Like real golf?
Not in, let's see, since the ex-wife was pregnant to the point of like, I don't want to do this anymore. So that was probably 12 years ago was the last time I golfed.
So you can probably attest to how accurate this is.
You would think. I'll pretend. I'm going to act like I do. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got this down. Pat.
Nice. All right, man. So you start up the game and you're in the clubhouse talking to the reception lady and walk me through it, man. What kind of options do we have before we even step out onto the course?
Well, it's awesome, right? Right off the bat, they give you your height adjustment. If you're sitting or standing, you can play this goddamn game sitting, which I did not. Left, right hand, male, female, adjust your height.
Left-handed. You complain about every single game not letting you play left-handed. You can play this one left-handed.
And poor Mulo is always correcting me. He's like, no, Jeremy, there was an option in there for lefty. Right. It's just, it never gets by him, but it always gets by me.
Yeah.
So there's nice.
He's aiming to replace you on the show.
Yeah, he would do a great job too. But I got to tell you, they had a lot of options right off the bat, right there. The tutorial was more a forced thing. They made you kind of go through that.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. So did you do the practice range at all, or did you just go straight to the? You did.
Yeah, I did the practice range. I even did some courses. Went back into the practice range just to see. Because, we had discussed prior to this, even me playing this game, that it does take a lot of practice and skill, and the slightest little beep of your move controller will definitely dictate how that ball travels, So you definitely can hone your skills and, which iron to use or club, whatever the term is. Am I pretending I know how to play golf?
Wow.
The iron of the club thing.
I'm starting to get the impression you know less about golf than I do, and I've never been golfing even once.
I know. Yeah, when it comes to selecting what club I use, I'm like, that has the biggest head, so that one must go the furthest when I hit shit. So that's kind of what happens with my brain.
There's so many jokes I could make about this, and I think we just move right along.
Yeah.
All right, 3 courses, right?
Yep.
First one, Forest. Pretty standard golf course. Nothing real special about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the Seaside, which looks kind of like a beach, resort, town or something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one that's Hot Shots Golf as fuck, and that is Dinosaur.
Yeah. But, When did you use they give you practice clubs in the beginning too? There's a lot of weird things you can unlock in this game. Like you can do mirror mode
Yeah.
too, which is nice. Which I had a Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You could do they give you that lucky club or something towards the beginning where they're like big, they're like wiffle ball bat type of
Right.
shit.
Like
So you
there's
hit
no
everything.
way you're missing the ball.
No,
Right.
no, even like the holes, you had like an option to unlock the tornado, so it kind of sucks in the ball for you, and the hole's way bigger. I did use that actually a few times.
Yeah.
It came in handy.
Yeah. If you just want to have fun and not stress out too much, the tornado hole is great.
Yep.
That's been a staple
Don't
of the series for a while.
You can't say that anymore, Brian.
It does sound weird. Yeah. I can't.
It does. You can't say tornado
Tornado
hole
hole.
is fun. Yeah.
Very,
No.
very awkward right now.
Yeah. Is she looking? Is she being like, "What, Daddy?"
She's around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? She's jumping out randomly. She thinks it's funny to jump out and attack my leg just because I'm walking by. It's like, all right, you got me. Ha
Yeah. Don't do it again.
Yeah. It's like, can we stop this now? I'm over it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you didn't even try the DualShock 4 with this.
You know what? It's funny. I was going to, and just holding it in my hand, I'm like, no, ew, and I did not because I understand it's just the same exact goddamn thing, except you're holding the controller, which, I mean, come on, for immersion, Christ, the damn Move controller is close enough. Why would you want to go to a DualShock unless you don't own one, which I
Right.
get? But other than that, why even bother trying it?
Right. I don't feel good in this game unless I'm looking down at the controller at the club in game and seeing my in-game hands the way they're kind of like gripping the club. And if
Yep.
my hands aren't in that exact place, I don't feel like I'm doing it right. Like my swing is going to be off and I'm not feeling comfortable with it. And so I tried it with the DualShock 4.
Yeah.
And it's not like they give you some kind of like weird altered club where your hands are like here. You're just expected to like kind of
Like a
grip
reverse
it
pitchfork. Yeah, really.
and do a weird like I'm just gonna shove the club in the general right direction. It feels
Yep.
terrible. The tracking works perfectly with this thing, and I can't believe that it does. And I even tempted to like just like, well, what if I just sit still or stand still and do
Yeah.
just like pivot it.
Yeah.
Is this something that'll work? And it's just everything about it feels awkward. I don't feel like there's a good way to play this game with the DualShock 4.
Yeah.
But the Move controller feels perfect. You only need one,
it's
obviously.
great.
No reason to have two. You only need one for this, and it does. It feels Beat Saber perfect, where you're like, you pick up boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like just this feels very responsive.
Yeah.
I guess when it comes down to this game, it's all about just swinging the club and feeling how
golf.
accurate it is, right?
Yeah.
Because no longer, I really assume that if you were going to use the DualShock 4, that there would be some kind of traditional Hot Shots golf option, some traditional everybody's golf option where you're hitting the X button 3 times in a row, watching
Yeah.
a little power meter go up and play it like a typical everybody's golf game,
Yeah.
like a typical non-VR version. But that does not exist anywhere in this game.
Nope.
And I could not hit the ball straight for the life of me for like hours the first time I played this. I was like, off to one side, off to the other side. And man, it
Right.
takes a lot of time and patience to get that down.
It does. And like they always say in real golf, keep your eye on the ball, never take your eye off until after you swing.
Okay.
Right? Someone's going to correct me. But I'm pretty sure that's correct. But I noticed on times when I would, really crack the fuck out of this thing and it would go straight is when I was doing that. When I was looking at the ball and then I looked and it was like, yes. But when I would forget and I'd be like, whoa, it would go way left. I'm lefty, so everything, it's just weird. Why is it with lefties that everything goes tremendously to the left? It's not like a righty, everything goes tremendously to the right. It all goes down the middle.
Yeah.
But with a lefty, no. It's complete opposite, And the caddy was trying to help me. She's like, oh, like she would be trying to be positive. But, I mean, some of my games were not that something to be positive about,
Yeah, I don't think I'm very positive about the caddies in general, to be honest.
No, I mean, they try killing you. These little events. Oh, I remember the first one. It was like a little event. And I'm like, what is this?
Right.
What's this little event that's about to happen? She's like, I know a shortcut. And she fucking takes me on a log that happens to be collapsed over a goddamn ravine. I mean, like death. I don't know. She should be fired. I mean, does the clubhouse know she's like, oh, follow me, club attendants across this log, this wind, and we could get knocked off and killed, but it's short. Instead of us walking 2 feet over that way, we can cross the log. And then she chickens out and wants to go back. But anyways, so yeah, there's these little events in there too that you can come across. They're not very eventful, to be honest. And you can review the events and the options. Like they definitely give you a lot of kind of things. Like the caddy, you got one caddy, you unlock another caddy. There's 2 DLC caddies, and then there's like color of the outfits that the caddy's wearing. There's 3 different colors that randomly will get generated when you just kind of start, but you unlock that shit. What else did you unlock? The amount of holes. If you want to do the in 9 or the out 9, which is the what? Coming from the 18
front 9,
hole.
the back 9, yeah.
Yeah, that terminology. And then you could do like a quick game, 3 par, what is it, par 3? Is that the terminology? 3 hole?
Yeah, it's just 3 random holes. If you just want to do a quick game, it'll just take 3 random holes from that course, and then you're good. Bam, bam, bam.
Did you find yourself giving yourself time trials? Like when they say, oh, you do 9, that's about a 30-minute game. I'm like, fuck you, 30 minutes. Here we go. You know what I mean? And see how fast I can do it while also still trying to play the game.
Yeah.
And I think the 30 hole, I don't remember. I didn't really time it, but it felt like about 16, 17 minutes. I don't think it felt too much longer than that. And I set new records for myself.
Nice.
So not bad.
That's great. Yeah. At the beginning of any course, I'm doing the practice shot, right? I'm like, so I'm looking down, and I'm before you hit the move button to switch over to address the ball, you can swing as many times as you want, and you can get your power down, get your angle down, get everything perfect, right? Mm-hmm. And I would do 5-10 practice swings every single time, and then finally, like, I think I got this. I hit the move button, I address the ball, boom, it goes flying off into the sand somewhere, some bunker, right? Obviously, like, I had so many perfect practice swings, and then the finally I do the actual swing, and just like way off into the distance. So like that's not anywhere near where I wanted it to go, and so I think that happens so frequently to me that as the course progresses, I start practicing less, and I just try less, and I'm just like, all right, it's just, we're not gonna even take a practice swing. We're gonna address the ball right away. Boom. Okay, good. There it goes. Good enough. It's good enough, right? Move along. Let's do this. I don't care if I'm getting a bogey, because I'd rather get a bogey than sit here for 20 minutes and only save 1 stroke and get a par, right?
Right. Or get that goddamn stone etched looking OB for out of bounds.
That's the worst.
I saw that quite a few times. Yeah. I did not practice swing. I barely, if I ever practiced swung, it was because I forgot to put it, to address the ball.
You forgot to push the button.
Yeah. But usually it was just like, and you naturally start to get better with this thing as it goes. Like, I guarantee you it ain't doing shit for your real golf game. There's no way. I mean, no. But like for this VR golf game, you definitely get better as it is, because everything is so, I mean, I'm talking like you take this controller and you slightly just hold it at the tiniest bit of an extra angle.
Yeah. That
ball will definitely go in that direction. It's not just like a crapshoot of random, or they just figure, all right, he kind of swung to the left, so let's just send it to the... No, it seems like it's very much right on. They definitely put a lot of thought into that. And I love how you can feel the ground. It gives you that slight vibration when you're touching the ground for a second, And I love how they definitely made it feel like you hit the thing far when you did. You're like, whoosh, and the sound and the distance and the slight vibration that hits, it's like, yeah. And that's one other thing too. I felt like as I wanted to move quicker, because they like to talk. The caddy likes to talk, and they like to show you what happened. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But then you rather quickly, right off the bat, you unlock the ability to just hit the circle and skip, and then hit that button in the middle to then go to the next hole. But they definitely talked a lot, and that brings you though to setting up your shot, because they definitely give you that aerial view. So there was one time where I couldn't really see where the hole was. I wanted to see the layout and what was lying in my way. So you hit the square or the circle maybe, and it gives you that aerial god mode, where you can like hover above and look around and see where everything is. They definitely put a lot of thought into what a golfer might want to check out while they're playing this game, if they do. But yeah, so there was that. And then also, there's some slight movement involved in your body position. You definitely don't want to just stand there. You definitely can move closer to the ball, move away from the ball, or twist a little bit to have it off in a different direction. And you don't have to go hog wild and move too far. This game did not make me almost fall or trip, but it it did a few times after I cracked the goddamn thing. I'd have to like restance myself because of the goddamn power I put behind the ball. And when my caddy was like, "Oh," I'd be like, "You fucking damn right." Look at that thing sore.
Yeah. No, there's so much. You take so much pleasure in the in when you actually get a birdie or get an eagle or get a or chip it in from the rough. It's like just so many times where you're like, oh, I'm doing horribly, and then you just like really save it with an extra long putt or you chip it in or something, and you feel really good. But by the same token, you feel like shit when you have to putt 3 times to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like real life for me. It's like, here's the hole, here's the ball, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it happened to me more times. That's why I put the tornado thingy on, so it would suck the ball right into it.
Yeah, certainly a lot more fun. On the Pro, this thing looks like pretty fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How did it look on the OG?
Not knowing what it looks like on the Pro, I thought it looked fine. Like I it's not photorealistic, by any means, but it is enough that it's not like, anime style for the environments. I thought it looked good. Everything was solid. Everything had the definitive lines. Nothing was blurry or foggy or giving me that headachy type of a feel to it. So yeah, I thought it was pretty damn good on the OG.
Yeah, there's a little bit of foveated rendering on the OG, but nothing that's nothing worth mentioning. I think it looks great on both. Did you feel like you were missing out on anything? Did you feel like this was lacking any critical modes or critical features?
Absolutely, big time multiplayer. I could not believe that this game didn't have the ability to play with somebody. Right. I don't see how it couldn't, although I don't make games, so I don't know. But that was huge to not have that.
Leaderboards. There's online leaderboards, and that's about the closest we get.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't even sort it by friends. Like it's just leaderboards. Like I didn't think it was. I was trying to search for the friends, so that I could just see who I knew, but I did not.
I'm just so uninterested in online leaderboards to be like, oh, where do I fall in the world ranking of, this particular course with these particular settings? I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me whatsoever. Like, this isn't the kind of game I don't care where I fall, in that regard. Like, I want to go out with like 4 friends.
Yeah.
And see who wins that round. Like, that's all I care about. I don't care about like my lifetime achievements and how they compare to everybody else's.
Poor bastard who's number 1 on the leaderboard that has that shirt, number 1 4 months running on Everybody's Golf VR.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't give a shit about strangers that I don't even know. I want to see my friends and where they fall. So it's always AJ at the top, generally.
Yeah. Did you think that 3 courses was enough for this?
No. I guess if you really want to keep putting time in and playing it, it can get pretty boring just having those 3 courses. I'm surprised. I mean, it's only been out for a little over a year now, and a little less than a year.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would think that if extra courses came out, I would certainly hope for that initial price tag that they would not charge for more courses. I mean, paying $10 a course as it is pretty steep.
See, I'm okay with them charging for more courses. What I'm not okay with is the DLC that we currently have. You pay $5 to unlock Steve as a caddy. You pay $5.
Is that all you get?
Yep. You pay $5 to unlock Gloria as a caddy. You pay $5 for 2 different costume packs. Like, I mean, we're talking $20 of DLC that literally adds nothing but cosmetic shit to the game. Like, it doesn't add a new course, doesn't add new clubs, nothing, really meaty or worthwhile. $20 of DLC that's just kind of throwaway stuff. Right. I was like, so I mean, I wouldn't mind paying $7.99 for a new course, because at least it's a new 18 holes. Like, look at this, it's way more appealing than $5 for Steve the caddy.
Right.
I think we need to rate this.
I think so too, Brian.
What's our rating scale, man?
One is you need this game. Go out, get it. It is absolutely better than a baby kitten. Two, it's
What?
two. This game is like, wait till you don't want to deal with a kitten. Get a grown up kitten, so you don't have to train it, litter box, waking you up, slapping your legs like Brian's got. So wait for it to be older. You have less time with it before it expires. So it's just wait. Three is don't bother. Just send you the ashes of the kitten you once loved. Don't even waste the money to purchase and live and feed and care for this thing for years and years, and then just burn it. That was negative. I'm very sorry.
Not one of your better ones.
It's a very negative
Yeah.
litter rating scale. But yeah, 1, 2, or 3. 1, you want it. 2, you want it, but wait for sale. 3, just fucking wait. Never, ever get it. So what do you rate this sucker, Brian?
Man, I don't know. I do know actually. That's the funny thing is I know exactly what I'm going to rate this, but I have so many issues with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like they took so many things away from Everybody's Golf and Hot Shots Golf that I used to love. The characters themselves used to have so much character. The characters had character. That's great. Can I edit that out? All the golfers had so much character, and it was always cool to see them on screen. But playing in third person, I get it. It's like, but so let's give the caddies some character. Let's give them something. And none of them are appealing whatsoever. And so when they're talking to you when you're doing bad, you just want to hit them over the head with a club. When these events pop up in the middle of your round, you're like, this is so dumb. This isn't a dating sim, which feels like it's trying to make it into one. If you want like a separate mini game in this for like a dating sim sort of thing going on, I'd be fine with that.
Caddy. Yeah.
Right? But don't throw that into the mix, especially when you're trying to make like an actual golf sim. Like it's obviously not just cutesy little arcade game anymore. It's a golf sim, and you're like throwing in cutesy little silly goofy things that feel really out of place and sometimes really uncomfortable. And then even the things like replays. One of the great things that Everybody's Golf always did, it always had amazing camera angles. Right, you're standing there at ready to tee off. Is that what's called? I don't fucking know.
I think so. Yeah.
Right, and you hit triangle, and like the camera just kind of zooms out like over the horizon, and so you can see the path of where you want the ball to go and see the landing spot. And I think they're so scared of motion sickness in this game that they gave us so few camera options. So you had to go to that God mode, like you said, the overhead view. And it's just not nearly as cool. And then you drive the ball, and it goes like 300 yards, and you're like, sweet. I think you just like stare off into the distance as like the ball gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you don't see anyone. And you're like, can I please turn on an option like the normal Everybody's Golf, the normal Hot Shots Golf, where I hit the ball and immediately the camera goes with it, and you just go, boom, let's go flying over this course.
Golf games.
Yeah, it's like such a cool perspective, and you can kind of sometimes force the replay camera to do a little bit of this, and it feels good for a second, and then they switch to some other stupid camera angle, and you're like, come on, man, come on, like embrace what made Hot Shots Golf and Everybody's Golf so great. Don't take that away. It's definitely a problem that there's only 3 courses. It's the caddies as a whole are just terrible. And the DualShock 4 again should have had a 3-button option, like X X X. Hit it 3 times to nail your shot if you want to play this like a traditional golf game. I have a lot of problems with this, but the fact is what it does really well.
Yeah.
This is like the best golf sim I've ever played. It's the only golf VR game we have, the only PlayStation VR golf game we have, and it's not counting 100-foot robot golf. That doesn't count for anything.
No.
And it's so good. Just the fundamental mechanics of hitting the ball and learning how to perfect your swing feels so good. And they only charged $30 for this. They didn't charge a full 60. If they charged a full 60 and only gave us what they gave us, I'd be fucking pissed. But as is, I'm like, man, I wish it had this, and I wish it had that, but I wish it had this. But what's here is so good that I still have to give it a 1 because I think everybody should get it. And hopefully Everybody's Golf 2 VR will have all the shit that we're begging for.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. And but man, what's here is really good, but it's missing a whole lot.
Yeah.
What do you think? 1, 2, or 3?
It's funny when you were talking, you were saying how the ball and the camera and following it. It reminded me of how much, for some reason, I used to have a ball playing big game hunter back on like original Xbox and seeing the bullet become the camera
Yeah.
until you take crazy shots and it would just like hit the deer in the head. And I would never kill in real life of anything, but video games, yeah. I would think a big game hunter in VR would be fucking great, actually. For some reason, hunting, tracking, there it is. But that's a side note. So,
Well, you
unlike you,
just wait till Sniper Elite VR comes out because it'll have that.
oh, that would be sick. Yeah.
It's coming.
So nice. The fact that you have a lot of love for, the old golf games, and I think that, definitely didn't sour your review whatsoever because you still gave it a 1. But I didn't have all those memories of all the things that had that it didn't transport over to this title.
Yeah.
So going in and just playing it for what it did offer. Do I wish it had more options? Yes. And I mean, I could be fine with what's available in the game now and just add multiplayer or add playing with somebody else. I mean, even if you swapped headsets and it was under one, VR headset locally,
Yeah.
I could deal with that if it wasn't internet based,
Or what
But
about what about just an AI character? Like, just can it make me feel like I'm
anybody,
there with somebody?
yeah,
Yeah.
and not have them so like that's great, Like I just think it's all gets a little annoying. But other than that, for what it does, like you said, it does really well. There's wind. She'll give you a warning. Oh, you're slightly uphill, so it might veer to the right.
Right.
And then you can pick up. Well, you can't pick up grass. You just hit a button and like you drop grass, so you can see where the wind's blowing. So they give you some thoughts like of wind resistance and shit like that. You can see on the map where the wind flow is going. When you're putting on the green, it grids everything out, and you can see the hills and where the flow of the air is going. And so they like map out a lot of stuff for you, and definitely make it not like arcadey. They make it as close to a simulation as they possibly can, while still also making it a little bit of focus on you mixed in there. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like a dating sim, like you were saying. But I do think that a lot of things were slow. It dragged on a lot. Before you could try to speed up shit and just hit the circle button after you hit the ball. So then it would be like give you the other option to then hit the main button to move to the next hole. There was a lot of steps you had to do that I felt were unnecessary.
Yeah.
Leaderboards where you could filter out your friends would be an excellent addition. Just simple stuff like this. More courses, absolutely. I think $30 on this for 3 courses is like, in my book, is steep. $20, okay. I could be way more on board with that. 30 is like, ugh. But I would think for the $30 to charge for DLC, depends on the price. If they're going $5 to get Steve, who knows what the fuck they charge for a course, But I mean, I still think it's fun. It's a game that you can't show anybody unless they're here physically. You can't just jump online and play with a friend, but it is a fun game to like show someone here in the house, be like, here, we can't play together, but take this swing, But I would say a solid 2, because it's definitely something where, you could, it's like an outdoor activity without having to go outside, and I did going outside, but people like you who don't, you put your headset on and do a round of golf, and you could leisurely take your time, spend hours if you really wanted to and play a course, So solid 2 for me.
Yeah, I turned on the fan and spent like an hour in it today, and it took me a while to get used to it, and I sucked for round after round, and I didn't care, and I just felt like I did feel like I was somewhere else, and when I took the headset off, I was like, I'm in my apartment.
Yeah.
Fucking craziness. Craziness.
Yep.
All right, so I'd say it's a weak 1 for me. It's a solid 2 from you.
Yep.
Good game overall. It actually was just on sale for $15 here in the States. So
Yes.
sorry if you didn't get it. Sorry that you missed it, because that is an amazing price for this game. I think that's perfect.
And that's what I got it for.
Nice.
15.
Perfect.
I'm usually the opposite. It's just like, oh, it was a permanent price drop today to 15. It's like, God damn it, I bought it yesterday for 30.
Exactly.
That's usually me. So yeah, I'm pumped.
Nice.
Totally worth 15.
All right, let's go do it for another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of Everybody's Golf VR. Did you play the old Hot Shots golf games, Everybody's Golf, PS4, all that stuff? Do you feel like it was really missing some things, or were you really happy with what you got for the price? Also, let us know what other games you want us to play. The list is long. It keeps getting longer.
Yes.
For another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR, I'm Brian Paul.
And I'm Jeremy King.
And we'll see you
next week.
Ooh, I think we got that.